Pete, Aston Villa, Morgan Rogers has been a revelation this season. Is he in line for a massive new deal, or should, Aston Villa be a little bit more careful with some new deals? Obviously, in the Champions League this year, doing well, but no guarantee that they'll be a Champions League club every year moving forward.
Yeah, I think Morgan Rogers has really surprised a lot of people, established himself as a integral part of Unai Emery's side. He's one of the first names on the team sheet. He plays in that number 10 role behind Ollie Watkins, and he's added goals to his game this season as well. And I think he's probably on the fringes of an England call-up. He's done so well for Aston Villa, so it's no real surprise that Villa are looking to give him a new deal as reward for his progress. He obviously arrived last January from Middlesbrough. He got that move off the back of playing so well for Middlesbrough against Aston Villa in the FA Cup. He really caught the eye of Unai Emery in that game, so I think it was just a matter of giving him a sort of a bump up in wages, bring him in line with the other first team players at Villa Park as well, and he would fully deserve it. I know what you mean about maybe Villa need to be careful about handing out big contracts due to maybe not having Champions League football regularly, but I think the way the club are planning, they're so ambitious. They want to be playing with Europe's elite every season. They want to be dining at Europe's top table, and in Unai Emery, they've got a very ambitious manager, so he will demand to be backed and everything else, and we've seen that from the owners previously, that they will back the manager, and funds are available there for new contracts and also for new signings as well. So I think Villa see themselves now as an established force, and I don't think money issues or anything that they're contemplating right now. So I think there's a confidence on both sides that Rodgers and Villa are happy with how life is going, so a new deal should be tied up pretty soon.
Paul, Marcus Rashford is a name that feels like it gets thrown around every few months. He wants to leave Manchester United, scores a few goals, he stays. Then he wants to leave Manchester United, and so on and so forth. Villa are now the club most recently linked with him. Could he make the move to pair alongside Ollie Watkins as kind of that second striker who sits behind? Obviously not in his best goal-scoring form over the last 2 years, and maybe a new place is the best answer for Marcus Rashford.
Maybe a new place is the best answer for Marcus Rashford, but it's not Aston Villa. I don't see Marcus Rashford going anywhere with the new man coming in at Manchester United. It's a clean slate for everybody. There was obviously a fractured relationship between Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford. It wasn't a harmonious relationship between player and manager, and I suspect that he was, quite happy for the manager to be changed. With Ruben Amorim coming in, it's a completely fresh start for Marcus Rashford, and at a club that's his club. He's been there for a very, very long time. Maybe the new manager is just the spark that Marcus Rashford needs to regain his best form. If the new manager didn't want him long term, I don't think that's going to be a decision that's made immediately. I think his short term future, without a doubt, is at Old Trafford, and that is in his own hands as to how he performs. But as far as Aston Villa go, I don't see it. They've got Jhon Duran who can play on that side. They've got Morgan Rogers. They've got Bailey who plays on that side as well. They've got a lot of attacking quality. I don't think he's a player that Aston Villa need. I can't see where he would fit into that system.
Well, Pete, Paul mentions Jhon Duran, who obviously we thought was leaving this past summer, but has been on fire since staying at Aston Villa, now has PSG circling. Could we see the forward force a move? Obviously, such a massive club to get to play for, and in one of the biggest cities in the world.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. As you said, Duran very heavily linked with the move away from Villa Park in the summer, but he ended up staying, and he's really hit the ground running this season, become a huge fans' favourite with his goals, especially off the substitute bench. The interesting thing will be what Jhon Duran wants to do, because I can't imagine he wants to continue playing second fiddle to Ollie Watkins, coming on games maybe for the last 15-20 minutes and being seen as an impact player really off the bench. So I think Duran will sit down and probably think about his future probably in the summertime if he's not becoming a regular in that Villa side by then. Villa are in a strong position. They've tied him down to a new contract recently as well, so it would take a huge fee for Villa to even consider selling Jhon Duran. As you said, PSG I'm sure would be an attractive option for any player out there in the world. As you said, one of the richest clubs in the world, and always playing Champions League football normally as well. Up front they are probably a bit light. Saw Kylian Mbappe obviously leave this summer. Just talked that Kolo Muani might leave as well. He's not really hit the heights at the Parc des Princes as expected him, so probably a new forward is something that PSG are missing, but whether they could lure Duran away from Villa, I'm not too sure, and I don't see Villa considering selling them midway through the season, especially with Villa trying to win silverware themselves this season and also competed in the Champions League.